The year is 1615. In a remote dojo hidden deep in the mountains of feudal Japan, an old master asked his student a question that seemed simple. Takeshi, if you were to face 10 enemies, how many could you kill? The young samurai answered without hesitation, all 10. Master, the old teacher shook his head. Wrong. You would not kill a single one. Not because your technique is poor, not because you lack strength, but because the moment you think about killing 10 men, you have already lost to the first. This is the paradox every true samurai is forced to confront. True victory does not come from action, but from presence, not from technique, but from the mind. It does not reside in the sword you hold, but in the stillness within. The samurai who understood this became legends, those who did not, became bodies on the battlefield. And here is what no one tells you. This principle is not only for combat, it is a principle of life. Right now, you are fighting 10 battles at once. Your work, your relationships, your health, your sense of purpose. And you are losing for the same reason samurai fell 400 years ago. You are everywhere except here. You are fighting 10 enemies in your head instead of facing the single moment in front of you. So the question is this: are you willing to learn what the samurai learned? Feudal Japan had just entered an era of peace under the Tokugawa shogunate, but in the remote mountains of Haida province, an old dojo still existed, a place where samurai were trained according to the ancient path. Takeshi was 17 years old. He had lived in the dojo for 5 years. 5 years of sword training, 5 years of meditation, 5 years of studying classics, etiquette, and discipline. Technically, Takeshi was nearly flawless. His strikes were precise, his posture exact, his speed sharp, efficient, without wasted movement. But there was one thing no exercise could correct: fear during sparring sessions with wooden swords. Takeshi's mind scattered. What if I get hit? What if I lose? What if the master sees my weakness? His body tightened. His breathing grew shallow. Perfect technique collapsed. The other students began to whisper, Takeshi has beautiful form, but no spirit. He thinks too much. He'll never pass the trial. The trial, the final test separating students from samurai. A real duel, real blades. The opponent, the master himself. Not a fight to the death, but to the moment where death becomes unavoidable. Most students took the trial at 18. Takeshi was 17 and a half, and his name had never been mentioned. One evening, after training, Takeshi approached his teacher. Yamamoto-sensei was meditating before the dojo's altar. Eyes closed, Takeshi knelt and waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Finally, the master opened his eyes. Master, when will I be ready for the trial? Those eyes had witnessed hundreds of battles. They had trained thousands of students. You are ready in technique, Yamamoto said, but technique means nothing. Takeshi did not understand. Stand up. Take your sword. Strike me. The master was unarmed, still kneeling. It was the perfect opportunity, but Takeshi's hand began to tremble. I cannot, master. Why? Because you are my teacher. It would be disrespectful. Yamamoto's face turned cold. No, you are lying to yourself. The truth is you are afraid. Afraid of the reaction. Afraid of failure, afraid of what comes after the strike. Your mind is in 10 different places, except the only place that matters here right now. The word struck Takeshi directly. Until you learn presence, you will never be a samurai. You will only be a corpse with beautiful technique. That night, Takeshi did not sleep. He sat alone, watching moonlight spill through the window. 5 years of sacrifice, 5 years of pain, 5 years of discipline. And he was failing not because of his body, but because of his mind. When dawn arrived, Takeshi made a decision. He would find the answer, no matter the cost. The next morning, Yamamoto-sensei gathered the entire dojo. No swords, no sparring, no techniques, only a short cold sentence. Today, we cleaned. The students fell silent, but inside them, irritation stirred. Cleaning when the trial was drawing near. All day long, they swept the courtyard, wiped the wooden floors, cleaned the weapons, rearranged the altar. Repetitive tasks that felt almost meaningless. Takeshi swept as well, but his mind rebelled. This is a waste of time. I need to train with the sword. I need to improve. I need to prepare for the trial. Until he noticed something. The master was sweeping too, but the master swept as if this were the only battle that existed. Every stroke of the broom was complete. Sweep left, he was entirely on the left. Sweep right, he was entirely on the right. No hurry, no distraction, no just getting it done. There was something in those movements that made the ordinary feel almost sacred. When the cleaning was finished, Yamamoto called Takeshi over. What did you learn today? Takeshi answered after a pause, that the dojo must be clean. Master, Yamamoto smiled. Wrong. Then he turned his back. Follow me. They walked to a small meditation room behind the dojo. Inside hung a single calligraphy scroll to characters, written with calm yet sharp ink. Yamamoto looked at Takeshi. The beginner's mind. Do you know what it means? It means humility, like a beginner. Takeshi replied, not enough. The master continued slowly. When someone holds a sword for the first time, what is in their mind? Takeshi thought. Curiosity, focus, the desire to learn. Correct? The master tilted his head. And what else? Takeshi was silent. Yamamoto spoke plainly. Nothing else. Only the sword. Only. That moment the beginner does not think about becoming great, does not think about winning or losing, does not think about the future, does not think about who is watching. Their mind is empty of expectation, empty of fear, empty of being in 10 different places. Then the master sat down. Takeshi sat as well. Yamamoto asked, "When you were sweeping, where was your mind?" Takeshi felt his face grow warm. "Everywhere else. And when you fight with a sword, where is your mind?" Takeshi knew the answer before the master spoke. On the result, on looking good, on not losing, on not letting the master see his weakness. Yamamoto nodded slightly. "You sweep the floor while thinking about the sword.
Yeah.
Train with the sword while thinking about the trial. You always stand one step away from reality. And that is why you fail." The master's voice was not harsh, but it cut deeply. The greatest weapon of a samurai is not the katana, it is presence. He spoke of principles Takeshi had heard before, but never understood in his bones. Zanshin, lingering awareness. Fudoshin, the immovable mind. Hashen, the ordinary mind. Then he concluded they all point to the same thing. Be here now completely. Takeshi looked up at the calligraphy. "Master, how should I train?" Yamamoto stood. "From tomorrow, you will train differently. Everything you do, eating, walking, sweeping, sword practice, you do with your full attention. When you eat, only eat. When you walk, only walk. When you swing the sword, there is only the sword." Takeshi asked, "For how long?" Yamamoto replied, like a verdict, "Until you understand. Maybe a month, maybe a year, maybe never. That depends on you." That night, Takeshi began. He sat in meditation but no longer tried to achieve anything, just sitting, just breathing. Then thoughts appeared. Am I doing this right? Is this working? What if I fail? Each time Takeshi simply noticed and returned to the breath. Here now. Only this moment. And he realized this was the hardest thing he had ever done. The first week was hell. Not the hell of physical pain, with a hell of a mind that refused to be silent. Everything Takeshi did suddenly became unbearably slow. Breakfast stretched on endlessly. The walk to the dojo felt like wading through mud. His mind screamed, "This is meaningless. I'm wasting time. Everyone else is improving, and I'm just being present." But Takeshi continued, not because he understood, but because his teacher had given him a path, and he would walk it to the end. On the second week, something strange happened. During morning meditation, for just a few seconds, the endless stream of thoughts in Takeshi's head stopped. Not because he forced it, it simply stopped. In that brief silence, he could hear the wind moving through the trees, the soft creak of wood in the dojo, the rhythm of his own heartbeat. It felt like waking from a long dream, as if he had lived his entire life unconsciously and had opened his eyes for the first time. Then the noise in his mind returned. But now, Takeshi knew something important. Silence was real, and presence could be trained. He deepened his practice. When sweeping, he became the act of sweeping, the sound of the broom against the floor, the tension in his arms, the repeated motion. This was the entire universe. When eating, he felt each grain of rice, chewed slowly, no thinking, just nourishment. When walking, every step was complete, heel touching the ground, weight shifting, balance adjusting itself. The other students began to whisper, "Takeshi walks like an old man, he eats like a monk. Did he give up?" Yamamoto said nothing. He only observed. Then came the third week, a sparring match. Takeshi's opponent was Kenji, a skilled swordsman who had already passed the trial. The old Takeshi's mind would have been flooded with thoughts. Kenji is better. What if I lose? I need to impress him. But the new Takeshi just stood there, present, aware. Kenji attacked a fast, decisive downward strike, and something strange happened. Takeshi's body moved before thought appeared. A shift, a deflection, a counter-strike, one continuous flow, without hesitation. Kenji stepped back, stunned. They engaged again. This time, Takeshi wasn't fighting Kenji, he was simply in the moment. When Kenji moved, Takeshi responded, not from remembered technique, but from immediate awareness. The match ended. Kenji bowed deeply. "You're different. You've changed." Takeshi bowed in return, said nothing, but inside him, a truth was becoming clear. Presence is not meditation. It is the source of all warrior strength. When you are fully present, you do not react from fear. You respond from awareness. And awareness is always faster than thought, always more precise than thought, always stronger than thought. That evening, Yamamoto called Takeshi over. "Tomorrow," the master said, "you will face the final trial." Fear arose then, dissolved. "Here now." "Yes, master, I am ready." And for the first time in 5 years, that was true. Dawn came slowly that morning. The dojo courtyard was perfectly silent. Takeshi stood at its center, dressed in hakama and a wooden sword in his hands. Facing him was Yamamoto-sensei holding a real katana, polished steel, a sharpened blade. That was the tradition that the student wielded wood. The master wielded steel. If the master wished, a single strike would be enough to end Takeshi's life. Masters from neighboring dojos stood around the courtyard. They were witnesses, to success or to failure. Yamamoto spoke, his voice calm but carrying weight. Takeshi has trained for 5 years. Today, he faces the trial. Not to defeat me, that is impossible, but to demonstrate the warrior spirit, to show presence under pressure, to prove himself worthy of the name samurai. The master lowered his stance, a flawless fighting posture. Takeshi's heart pounded. His hands threatened to tremble. If this were the old Takeshi, his mind would already be in chaos. What if I fail? What if I disgraced myself? What if I die? But the new Takeshi, he inhaled, felt his feet on the ground, heard the wind moving through the bamboo, saw every detail of his teacher's posture. There was only this moment. Yamamoto moved, not a killing strike. A probing cut, fast, precise, aimed at the shoulder. Takeshi's body responded. He shifted. The blade passed just by his ear. He countered with the baka not to strike, only to answer the opening. The master deflected. Both stepped back. Then the second attack. Faster, combination. High, low. Takeshi flowed with the movement. Block, evade, respond. No thinking, no planning, no attempt to win. Whispers rippled through the observers. This was not normal. Most students during the trial could only defend in desperation. Takeshi was different. He was present. Yamamoto accelerated. This was lethal. Battlefield speed. And here, the essential moment arrived. Takeshi stopped trying, stopped wanting to win, stopped wanting to impress, stopped wanting to become a samurai. He simply was. Each strike came and he answered, not from memorized technique, but from immediate awareness. 3 minutes passed. In combat, that is an eternity. Then Yamamoto did something unexpected. He revealed a clear opening, a gap to perfect. Any other student would have rushed in instantly, but Takeshi did not attack. Presence showed him the truth. It was a trap. To strike now would be excess. It would be the ego stepping forward. Takeshi waited. Yamamoto understood. A moment of silence passed between them. No words were needed. Then the master lowered his sword. It stepped back, bowed deeply. That is enough. You have passed. The courtyard fell silent, then erupted in applause. Takeshi bowed. His body trembled, not from fear, but from release. Later, in private, Yamamoto said, 5 years ago, you came here to become the greatest swordsman. Today, you became something better. You became a man who is present. The sword is only a tool. Presence is the weapon. When you did not strike at that opening, you showed me wisdom, the young wish to win every moment. The true warrior knows that some victories are only failures in disguise. Takeshi listened, but inside a question was forming. Master, he said, I have passed the trial, but this feels like only the beginning. Yamamoto smiled. That is correct. This is the first transformation, from student to samurai. But there is another transformation, from samurai to master. Then he spoke the words that stunned Takeshi, and to achieve that, you must leave this dojo. Takeshi left the dojo early the next morning. There was no farewell ceremony, no words of encouragement, only a mountain road leading toward Koya where ancient temples hid within the mist. He carried his sword, the title of samurai, and a very subtle pride. I have passed the trial. At the monastery gate, the abbot, a very old monk with eyes as still as a mountain lake, looked at Takeshi for a long time. Then he said, put the sword down. Takeshi hesitated. Master, I am a samurai, the monk replied gently. Here, you are a beginner, and beginners only learn how to sit. The sword was left at the gate, and in that exact moment, Takeshi stepped into the hardest year of his life. No sword, no sparring, no combat, only sitting hours of zazen every day. Absolute silence, spine upright, breath steady. The first month was psychological warfare. The body ached, legs went numb, the back burned, the mind screamed. What am I doing here? I am a samurai. I should be training to fight, not sitting still like a stone statue. The old monk walked among the meditators, holding a wooden stick. Whenever someone's mind drifted from the present, from the breath, the posture, the tension, he tapped them lightly on the shoulder. Not painful, but enough to wake them up. Takeshi was tapped many times, but he did not quit, because deep down he knew Yamamoto had sent him here for a reason. In the second month, something began to shift. During one sitting, Takeshi's mind was more chaotic than usual. Thoughts collided, frustration rose. Then the bell rang. Walking meditation. Each step, one breath. Heel touches the ground. Weight transfers. Complete. And in that moment, Takeshi understood presence is not the absence of thought. It is the refusal to be controlled by thought. Thoughts still arose, but he did not follow them. Oh, this is anxiety. This is the urge to prove myself. Just a thought. Then back to the step. Back to the breath. Back to here and now. From the 3rd to the 6th month, the training went deeper. The monastery became the entire world. Waking at 4 a.m. meditation, simple meals and silence. Labor chopping wood, carrying water, tending the garden, meditation, reading sutras, meditation, sleep. Every action was a practice of presence. Chopping wood, only the axe, the wood, the movement. eating, feeling every grain of rice, reading each character, entering directly into the mind. Takeshi began to recognize deeper layers of presence at first. Attention on the task, deeper awareness of the gaps between thoughts, deeper still, recognition of what remains present, whether thoughts arise or fade. The Zen masters called this original mind, awareness untouched by disturbance. Then came the 7th month. The abbot summoned Takeshi. You have learned presence in stillness, now you must learn presence in chaos. He handed Takeshi a letter. There is a village 3 days from here. It has been raided by a group of masterless samurai. You will go alone, resolve this matter, then return. The samurai spirit in Takeshi stirred. At last, a chance to use my skills. And immediately a deeper layer of awareness appeared. The ego wants to prove itself. The abbot spoke one final sentence. The goal is not to defeat the bandits. The goal is to remain present. Whatever happens, stay with this moment. Takeshi bowed. And began to walk 3 days through the mountains. Each step a meditation, each breath a return. As dusk fell, he saw the village ahead, and he knew the final test was waiting. The village was small, no more than 30 houses, worn faces, avoiding eyes, a fear that had lived here for far too long. The village elder spoke in a whisper. They come every week, they take food, money. We are farmers, not warriors. How many? Takeshi asked. 5. Their leader is Katsuru, once a samurai. When his lord died, he became a bandit. That night, Takeshi sat alone in meditation. Before, his mind would have been making plans, calculating angles, preparing for death. But now, he simply sat with whatever arose. Fear came. He acknowledged it. There is fear. That is natural. But he did not let it lead. Just remain present. The outcome is not mine. Dawn. The 5 bandits arrived. Hardened faces, hands resting on sword hilts. Takeshi stepped forward and armed laughter erupted. The village hired a child. Go home, before you die. Takeshi stood still. No challenge, no provocation, no defense. Only complete presence. And Katsuru stopped laughing. Something in Takeshi's stillness made him uneasy. Who are you? Katsuru asked. I was taught by Yamamoto-sensei and by a Zen master on Mount Koya. Katsuru's eyes shifted slightly. He knew those names. And you think you can stop us? Takeshi smiled faintly. I did not come to stop you. I came to talk. Confusion spread among the bandits. No aggression, no threats. Takeshi stepped forward, completely open. You were once a samurai. You once lived with honor. What brought you here? For a brief moment, something flickered in Katsuru's eyes. Pain, loss. My lord died. My honor died with him, Takeshi replied, his voice low and steady. No, your honor is only sleeping. Beneath the pain, beneath the anger, it is still there. Another bandit snarled. Enough, I'll cut him down. He lunged forward, sword drawn, fast. Decisive. Takeshi did not move. No fear, no resistance, no desire to survive. The blade stopped a hand's breadth from Takeshi's neck. The bandit trembled. He could not strike, not because Takeshi was stronger, but because there was nothing to oppose. Absolute presence gave violence nowhere to land. Katsuru watched for a long moment. Then he did the unthinkable. He knelt. I forgot who I was. He stood and turned to his men. We're leaving and we will not return. Then he looked at Takeshi, that Zen master. Where is he? Mount Koya, perhaps. I will go there, Takeshi bowed. There are no broken men, only men who have forgotten their wholeness. The bandits left. The village was saved not by violence, but by presence. Takeshi returned to Mount Koya. The Zen master was waiting. What did you learn? He asked. Takeshi answered after a pause. Presence is the ultimate weapon, not because it defeats enemies, but because it transforms them. When we are fully present, we become a mirror, and people see themselves in it. The Zen master smiled. Yes, the final victory is overcoming the need to fight. Many years later, Takeshi stood in the very dojo where his hands had once trembled with fear. Yamamoto-sensei had retired into seclusion, and Takeshi was now the teacher. A new student entered, young, talented, eyes burning with a familiar hunger. Master, the student said, I want to become the greatest swordsman in Japan. Takeshi smiled. He had once said the exact same words. They knelt together before the altar. On the wall hung the old calligraphy scroll. Do you see it? Takeshi asked. Shoshin, the student replied. The beginner's mind. And what does it mean to you? The student thought. Humility. Always being willing to learn. Takeshi nodded. Double quotes. Yes. But there is one more thing. It means being present for this moment. Not the moment you become great, not the day you defeat someone. Just right now. Takeshi spoke slowly, as if each word were being placed onto the wooden floor. I will tell you a secret. There is no moment called becoming the best. There is only this moment. Then the next, the moment, and the next one after. That if you can be fully present for each of those moments, you will understand what true masters understand. The sword is only a tool. Presence is the weapon. The student frowned. I still don't understand. Master. Takeshi stood up and handed him a broom. Then we will begin with something else. Sweep. The student looked briefly disappointed, but he bowed. Yes, master. Takeshi watched. He saw the restless mind, the impatience, the desire to do something important, and Takeshi saw himself from many years ago. He smiled because this path is not passed on through lectures, not through victory, not through violence, that it is passed on through presence, through example, through thousands of small moments of being here right now. That is the way of the samurai, not the path of killing, but the path of awakening. Not domination, but awareness. Not achieving, but returning. And Takeshi's final message is not only for swordsmen, it is for you. You are not failing because you lack discipline. You are not failing because you lack ability. You are failing because your mind is in 10 different places. When you return to this moment, you no longer need to control life. Life will organize itself around your presence. The sword is only a tool. Presence is the true power. And when you are truly present, you do not just become strong, you become free.